Let me tell you a story about a guy named Elomox. Elomox lives in a small apartment in New Jersey. Not the kind you see on Instagram. Just a quiet place with thin walls, old carpets, and a heater that works only when it feels like it. He doesn't own a car. In fact, most days he moves around with public transport. That morning, Elomox woke up at 5:30 a.m. to his alarm. His body was heavy. He had slept late the night before, trying to calculate bills instead of resting. Before getting out of bed, he checked his phone. His bank balance stared back at him. Lower than he expected. A subscription he forgot to cancel had renewed overnight. Small money, but in a country where every dollar has an assignment, small money hurts. He sighed, got dressed, and headed to the bus stop. At the bus stop, the cold bit into his skin. People stood quietly, hands in pockets, faces tired. No one was talking. Everyone had somewhere to be. The bus was late. 5 minutes passed. Then 10. Elomox kept checking the time. He was already running late, and he knew his supervisor had warned him before. When the bus finally arrived, it was crowded. No seats. He stood the whole ride, holding the rail, trying not to close his eyes. At work, the day didn't get better. A customer complained about prices. Another complained about waiting too long. His supervisor pulled him aside and reminded him that being late again could become an issue. Elomox apologized. Not because he wanted to, but because he had no choice. During his lunch break, he stepped outside and checked his phone. That was when he saw the message from his landlord. Reminder, rent is due in 3 days. 3 days. He reread it twice like the words would change. His paycheck was coming, yes, but it wouldn't fully cover rent, utilities, and transportation. After work, all Elomox wanted was to go home and rest. But resting doesn't pay rent. So instead of heading home, he opened a car rental app. He rented a small car for a few hours, nothing fancy. The kind of car people use for delivery work. The price alone made his chest tighten, but he told himself it was temporary. He logged into a food delivery app and started working. At first, the orders were slow. Then they picked up. One customer messaged him repeatedly, asking where their food was. Another gave the wrong apartment number. He spent almost 10 minutes just trying to find a building with poor lighting. Then traffic hit. His phone battery dropped quickly. His body was tired. And the rented car started making a strange noise. Not loud. Just enough to make him worry. Elomox pulled into a parking lot and sat there quietly. He didn't even get down. He knew that if anything happened to the car, he would be responsible. After a few minutes, he whispered to himself, "Just one more delivery." He finished the night late. When he returned the car, his earnings were okay, but once he removed rental cost and fuel, it didn't feel like much. By the time he got home close to 1 a.m., his body was empty. He heated leftover food but barely touched it. He sat on his bed, shoes still on, phone in his hand. Then his sister called from back home. She asked, "How is life over there?" Elomox went quiet. He wanted to tell her the truth. That life abroad isn't always soft. That sometimes you're just managing stress in silence. But he smiled and said, "I'm fine. Just busy." After the call, he lay back and stared at the ceiling. And in that quiet moment, Elomox realized something. Living in the US is not always about big wins. Sometimes it's about small survival. Showing up. Pushing through. Doing what you must, one day at a time. And that struggle? It's more common than people admit.